Seriously, check करो.
Only coordinators we are running in the group right now.
Hello, we are ready now, sir. We can start.
Okay, good. Okay, Anjali, so you can take up now, please.
Okay, sir. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome you all to the closing ceremony of Six Sigma and Lean Management Summer Internship Batch for 2020 IICHE organized by Yellow, Green, and Black Belt. First of all, I would like to thank for giving all the industrial experts who have given such a their precious time to come here and give us their wisdom that will inspire us. And I would also like to thank all the interns and coordinators, Dhaval sir, Nikhil sir, and every other industrial expert because of which we have so that we have completed this internship with all enthusiasm, hard work, and all the preparation that coordinators have made this possible to conclude this internship in such a nice manner. So we here have some industrial experts whose wisdom is, as you know, will not only inspire us, will also show us some pathways further in our career development as well. And we'll start on with the Vinayak Marathe sir, who is the keynote speaker today. He is going to today speak on the challenges and opportunities for the chemical engineers. He is the vice chancellor of Institute of Chemical Technology, and he okay, sorry. He is a former. Yes, sorry, sir. I'm really sorry for that.
I wish I can become vice chancellor.
Sure, sir. Your hard work.
Students actually practically on the process.
Marathe sir should actually become vice chancellor.
Surely, sir. All our wishes. All our wishes to you. So he's the former head in the R&D planning and biofuel project and operation in RIL, and is a former senior vice president of Reliance Industries Limited. He has 40 years of experience in the area of operation, new grass and root plants commissioning, project management, industrial relation and business transformation. Headed the world's largest aromatic complex at Jamnagar for over 3 years, led the high impact special projects such as LPG recovery from fuel gas, debottlenecking of aromatic plant from 1.6 mmTA to 2.5 mmTA, kerosene, coker and naphtha hydrocracker, executive distillation refinery interconnect, and world's largest biofuel plant. He has delivered several talks in national and international conferences on operation excellence, industry 4.0, time management, decision making, lean manufacturing, and career development, aromatic technology, and Indian petrochemical scenario. Delivered several sessions to young engineers from GET batches for over 15 years. So, sir, thank you so much for being here, and it is to have you here today. So you can give your knowledge to the young engineers. Sir, are you there?
Sharing screen.
Yes, left the meeting, sir, just now.
Yeah, actually some internet issues there. Then we join that.
I was about to speak and the power had gone. Now I connected on the mobile hotspot. I hope the signal will be strong enough to continue. Uh, so, yeah, good evening. It's my pleasure to be here again. I think last time I was in the closing ceremony of one of the similar Six Sigma programs for the green belt. Now this time we're talking about the yellow belt. I also had a privilege to review almost 10 or 14 projects on weekends, and the kind of work the students had done, and especially not having a much exposure to the industry or not having a much exposure to the process or the plant for which they were doing the Six Sigma, purely using the tools and assuming certain conditions in the plant. But let me tell you that that was a real good work everybody had done. And thanks to all Six Sigma trainers, Mr. Karve and
कैमरा ऑन
others
करो ना
who had
क्योंकि
taken the
स्नैपशॉट
key
लेने हैं
interest
यार
in doing
कैमरा
and
ऑन करो
giving. When I was in Jamnagar in aromatic complex, and there was a hydrotreater reactor where we used to have a lots of trouble of pressure drop going up across the reactor in a very short time. Something was going wrong. We were doing our analysis with all the analytical tools and the knowledge we had. And then we also invited the Shell expert because Reliance had a technical services agreement with the Shells under which we could invite a Shell expert, a young engineer, maybe 7 8 years of experience. He came and he spent almost 5 6 days with our team, and we went through all the data, did all kind of cause and effect related to the data, and he was asking the questions to the team while reviewing the data. He used different analytical tools. Many of those are trained in Six Sigma. And then he came out with certain causes which can lead to this kind of a problem. Now then we said, what's the mitigation? How are you going to solve those? And then the time that I said, I never worked in any hydrotreater, neither I have knowledge of any hydrotreating process, but I know how to do the troubleshooting by using the analytical skills, whether Six Sigma or all other. And now, as we have shortlisted the causes which can have an impact, now we will consult some hydrotech expert in Shell who will tell us how to close, how to what should be the mitigation or what are the actions which is required. So that's it. The power of analytical tools, and as I said, the Six Sigma not only teaches you the tool how to use it, but it also builds the attitude of analysis, and that is the most important. So every activity you do, whether you are in industry, whether you are in home, whether you are investing some money, if you are buying some home, if you are traveling to holiday, so all kind of analysis of that activity, if it gets into your attitude, then it is not always required to put those tools on the paper or onto the computer and put the data and get the analysis. It just goes on your mind. Many of things will just trigger on your mind. What if kind of thing? What when we talk about what if, and all kind of risk assessment to the activity or the decision which you are making will automatically will pop up in your mind, and then you can say, yes, I can go and use this tool, I can collect this data before I decide to do anything. So that's very much required, and extremely good initiative by IIChE student chapter in training the student. And while I compliment IIChE, I would also like to compliment students to making use of this opportunity because this is a COVID time. All colleges are closed, students are sitting at home, and we have to act and say that this is it's unfortunate. It's a bad luck for me. I'm unable to go to the college and missing classes. Or you can think of other way around also how do you utilize this opportunity. And if somebody is making something available to you, you jump on it and utilize it. So that's a compliment to all the groups and all the students who really try to learn to the best of their ability and also try to do the projects which were really good. So let me share a couple of slides for next 15-20 minutes on what are the challenges and where the world is going and what opportunities it is going to create for the chemical engineers, provided they keep on upgrading their skills all the time. I always say in all my lectures, when we passed out, when like my generation, when it came out of the engineering colleges, uh, there was only one job which was available, mostly either you join the industry or get into some engineering company. The best of the engineers will join the industry, and what all knowledge they have got through their university degree was good enough to apply and survive for years together. Because if I've seen first 20, 25 years of my experience, then nothing has much changed. Where I started my career, and after 25 years, if I look at those plants, there will be some automation and something might have come, but there was never a disruptive kind of changes which made me mandatory to learn some skill, which was not there at all. There were incremental improvements. There were better reliability. There was better profit opportunity identification. Some of those kind of things were kept on coming. But now, where the world is moving, it is a time for disruptions in every field, not only in IT, not only in biotechnology, but in every field. If you look at it, there is going to be a disruption, and that is what I'll try to show some of those slides. So when you have to live with these disruptions happening and make your career as enlightening as possible, you cannot just contain with what knowledge you got in your university. If you do not keep on upgrading your skills, do not keep on upgrading your knowledge, believe me, in 10, 15 years after you join any kind of a job, you may be irrelevant. So that's it. Whether you consider it as a challenge or you consider it as an opportunity, because these opportunities are also changing the lifestyle. It's also bringing improving the standard of the life. It also paying you lots of money on the opportunities which are coming. And whatever GDP when I started in the industry, and that's what I'll show you in the first slide. Let me start the presentation. Yeah, can you see the screen?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So this is just a kind of a legal declaration which I am supposed to say. Okay, whatever information I gathered in this presentation from various sources, those have been mentioned. If anything is missed, it is not by intention. It is just a ignorance. So they were talking about. So when I started my career sometime in 1980s around that time, and if you look at nothing had much change, there was a very, very little growth which was happening. And I said maybe for 20, 25 years, there was not much change. There was a very steady growth in GDP was happening. And that is the way GDP is directly related to the per capita income. And the people who are more educated, more professional, more qualified, their per capita income as compared to the people who are less qualified will have a different kind of ratio. That is exponentially goes up when the GDP goes up. So till 1995, 90, 92, 93, when the India went for globalization, things started changing. It took 7, 8 years to realize the effect of the globalization. And by the 2000, when we could see the IT revaluation started, and that is where the major growth in GDP from the service sector, where the industries were growing, but the major growth started coming from the service sector. And if you look at the graph, how it has changed, and this change had a huge impact on the every individual of the country. Their standard of living, their quality of life, everything has gone up. And now we are targeting GDP to go to $5 trillion. This COVID impact, yes, it will get offset. It may delay the dreams of reaching there by maybe a year or so. But then certainly we will go there. Although the COVID will bring some initial setback in GDP growth, which is predicted to be around 9.5 to 10% in this financial year. But at the same time, we expect COVID to bring many opportunities, and future growth in GDP, which was projected at 6-7% steady state, maybe much higher. And so those opportunities will come. So when we are going for this kind of economy, what are the opportunities which will come? So if you look at the service sector, which is contributing maximum to the economy, and industry sector and the agriculture sector, the worst part here is 14% of the GDP in agriculture is occupying 42% of the workforce in India, and which is not sustainable because the per capita income coming from agriculture is less than half of that is coming from industry, or maybe one third which is coming from the services. So for any the best place for agriculture manpower to shift and grow is the industry, and that is where the industry growth, which is mandatory. And looking at the quality of life what we have in India, looking at all the chemical consumptions per capita we do, that when you look at the $5 trillion economy, that has to grow. The polymer consumption, all other, especially when talking about the chemical has to grow with the growing economy, and when the chemical consumption has to grow, the industries have to, new industries have to come, and those industries have to flourish. So that is unevitable if you want to achieve that growth, and that is all going to happen. And that is why I said, can COVID can bring the opportunity, as it can bring the opportunity of much larger industrial growth than expected. So this 27%, whatever we are saying, even if $5 trillion, if we have to maintain 27%, then just imagine the growth has to be actually doubled in that area. At the same time, services have to continue to grow. But what has happened in services, when you see this graph till 2010, or even I extrapolate to that, so this growth has come largely, the large part has come from the IT sector, and most of the skills which were required to grow the services, because it was a very basic work which was started of digitization in every sector. So it did not be required for achieving the similar kind of growth in the service sector. And those skills will be much high-end skills as compared to what skills were required before. I remember any IT company will go to the college and hire the entire class. Say around 100 students of the entire class have been hired, without really looking for what are the specialized skills that the entire class will have, because it was most of the back-end work which India was providing, and that growth was happening. Right? So now we call it a VUCA world. It's a volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world. If you ask any expert in the world, what is going to be the oil prices 5 years from now? Will the renewable resources will capture 50% of the fossil fuel market? If anybody has an answer, I will tell that gentleman is just guessing. Huh? Nobody really knows, because I worked on renewable fuels on the IIChE project and 2G ethanol also. So I know the status of the project. Today, I cannot say when this is going to replace the fossil fuel. Solar and wind, that is reasonably proven and growing at some space. some pace. But the challenge in the VUCA world is not only finding the alternatives for the fossil fuel, but also getting into the decarbonization mode, where you have to minimize the CO2 emission, and which is going to be mandatory. Today, you have seen what COVID has impacted. One small virus, it has completely transformed the world. It could make the world stand still. So that the power of the biotechnology which we have seen tomorrow, and then you see you are going to see the huge transformation in the healthcare system, huge transformation in the many area with one kind of virus coming up. If 5 years down the line, if you see some islands are sinking, or there are some absolutely abnormal things that are happening into the environment in the world, that's going to be a very, very big emergency for global warming, coming for reducing the global warming. And as usual, which is a 4 to 5 degree centigrade increase into the global warming temperature, which is not sustainable. And that is where the challenges, when I talk about putting up the industry, the challenges are not only to adopt the best technology, but at the same time, even a country like India, where our CO2 generation is just 1.6 tons per capita, which is much lower as compared to Europe, China, and America. But when we talk about the emergency to the global warming, the absolute amount of CO2 which we generate, which is the third highest in the world after the US and China. And that is why the world is not going to allow you to grow without contributing to the carbon economy. So that is going to be, that's why I call it a VUCA world. When you want to grow into the industry at the same time, you want to bring it down to you have to bring it down to the carbon emission. So the industries which will be required to be put, not the same industries or not the same configuration by which we were going up to now. There has to be a change. Even in the automobile, I was attending one webinar recently that they say when you go to electrical vehicle, there are 400 spare parts which are required to assemble the car today. With the electric vehicle, that number will come down less than 100. So that's going to be again a huge kind of a transformation happening in that area. So this is a VUCA world where we need to address the carbon, we need to reduce the fossil fuel demand. At the same time, we need to grow our industry, and that is where we talk about digitization, which everybody is, every single company, maybe there are not less than 50 companies today who are beating their drums that how the digitization is going to bring solution to many of all of these problems, which is 100% not true, but we have to move in that direction. Another area where the world is going to be facing the challenge is the plastic recycling. I'll not get into the entire slide of this, but let me tell you the total amount of plastic which has been produced since 1960s, when the plastic was considered to be a big blessings to the mankind, and now we started looking at the curse to the mankind. In just 30-40 years of plastic becoming popular. So total amount of plastic which has been produced, and the data which is available for the landfill, incinerated, or the long use plastic which is existing in the world, there is almost a 0.2 billion ton of plastic, which is around 200 million tons of plastic, which is missing, where no data shows where it has gone. And then the plastic which is lying in the seas and the rivers and everywhere. And that is again not sustainable hereafter. We will need the technologies, we will need, because India today, when I'm talking about the plastic is being very critical for all the lifestyle or the standard of living improvement in India. Even taking the power to the every remote place, we require the cables, that all requires the plastic. Our plastic consumption is one third that of global average, around 2.8 to 3 kg per capita, which is one third of the global average as compared to the developed countries. Then will be almost 1/6 or 1/7 of the developed countries. So we need to grow our plastic consumption. India's 44% chemical demand comes through import. So all those chemical manufacturing, if you have to reduce the import, has to happen. So every standard or quality of life will require plastic to be used. But again, challenge like a fossil fuel where you generate the carbon, here you cannot allow any kind of plastic waste to be generated unless you find the technology to really recycle it and use that. So that's another big challenge. Now, where are we on digitization? So it is just the oil and gas industry because this is much more relevant for all of us. Oil and gas, of course, include upstream, midstream, downstream, all the areas. Again, I will not get into the detail, but this is what the digital solutions promises. And they say it is proven, which is almost $640 billion potential where the digital technologies do exist which can address reduction of emission up to 430 billion, which is based on the carbon tax, water consumption, and then you look at the potential opportunities for reducing the cost of the product which you are having. And then this is the low maturity, low uncertainty, unquantified digital initiatives which are under the development today. If you take that impact, then they talk about $2.5 trillion. I mean, this is coming from the World Economic Forum white paper, which was released a couple of years back. And it has lots of big brains have contributed into that, looking at all the crises versus the solution which are coming from the digital. Now, when say Industry 4.0, what it can impact, and again, not read everything of it, but 10 years back, 10 or maybe 15 years back, when Mr. Karve will remember in sometime in 2000 or 2001, when the Six Sigma was introduced in Reliance, and we had undergone the number of trainings under Six Sigma. And the similar kind of slide, when the Six Sigma people were showing it, they say what Six Sigma can impact. Now, when we say Industry 4.0, what also it can impact. So there is a very clear alignment which is required between the Lean Six Sigma and Industry 4.0. What Industry 4.0 promises to Six Sigma? It promises time to data collection. It promises time to availability of data. It promises the speed of data collection. It promises the analytical tools which is coming from Industry 4.0, how fast analysis can happen. So they have to coexist. So IOC and the LS, yes, when it comes to things which we have been addressing in the Lean Six Sigma of reducing the waste and at the same time improving the efficiency, those techniques supported by IoT can really bring the what all is shown in this slide. So Six Sigma, the companies which adopted the Six Sigma, people who were really required to use those skills, and they did real good projects, which some of those had happened in Reliance and many other places. They have seen many of these improvements without IoT coming. Now, with IoT coming up, all the skills which you are learning today, and when you learn the Internet of Things and marry both the things, then the benefits coming out of Lean Six Sigma will be at much faster speed. And if you look at all of these things and what I was showing in the earlier side of $650 billion, those all the potentials, yes, it does exist in the globalized market. And we can say that because I have seen the growth in Reliance starting from a plant which were very less automated versus a plant which had more automated and the digitized, and the amount of the conversion cost, amount of profit opportunities which have been identified in the older plant and the newer plant, we can really see the difference what the Industry 4.0 or these tools can make it. This is the and majority of the industries are in India today at a industry 3.0 revolution. Today I'm working for the company called Phillips Townsend and Associate, and this company is in the business of the benchmarking. They have presence in 44 countries, and they do the product benchmarking, they do the processes benchmarking, they do the safety benchmarking in that area. And when you look at the level of digitization and the level of the improvement in the reliability, improvement into the operational excellence, many areas, there are not many industries who have really moved to this fourth industrial revolution. And that is where the large amount of opportunities which do exist for all these new tools which are coming up. Now, when we talk about the chemical engineers, can they learn robotics? Can they learn artificial intelligence? Can they run the drone? Yes, they can. There are people who are engaged, and the people who have a knowledge of the processes and the products and the systems, those people, when they learn this skill, they'll be much, much effective as compared to the people who are only bringing the skill without the domain knowledge. And this is the technology adoption. I already said you what happened in when I started my career versus what is happening today. It and that is why I said nothing was changing for 25 years of my career, because if you look at it, how many years it took for a technology to reach to the 50 million people, and what is happening now? The internet and Facebook and all this started in last 10 years. And today you look at the trillion-dollar companies having a $1 trillion valuation. How much time they're existing? And maybe 4 years, 5 years of time. So that's a speed of change, or that's a speed of disruption, which is going to happen in every area. These are the 12 disruptive technologies, which again come from the McKinsey Global Institute report. And many of these technologies, you look at the renewable energy, a lot of disruptions are anticipated there. You look at the energy storage, because we talk about the hydrogen, we talk about the solar, but the bigger challenge is how do you store that energy economically, and that is where the entire economics get into the trouble. You look at the biofuel, look at the next generation genomics, which is today we made oil out of algae, but if you ask the economy, it's not economical to compete with fossil fuel. There is huge amount of development which is required, and that is where some kind of a break coming in. If it has the power of making the world standing on the negative side, it can also have a power to change the entire world on the positive side. And if you read the book called Physics of Future, which is written by Michael Kaku, he talks about how the world will look like in 2070. That book was written some 12 years back, and that is the time it was looking at a fantasy. But just within the 12 years, the things which have changed, now whatever he has written in that book, it doesn't look like a fantasy anymore. So these are the areas where advanced oil, gas exploration recovery, advanced materials. So in each of these areas, or majority of these areas where disruption is happening, you will require the chemical engineers to play a big role into that area. Even if you look at my biofuel project, except for the strain development, where some biologists are involved, rest everything is by chemical engineers. All the entire program which was being laid were mostly by the chemical engineers, and that too older chemical engineers who are trying to learn many new things which are happening in the area. Again, these are new skills, all the disruptive technologies. Those disruptive technologies will require many of these skills. And these skills, any engineer, like Vinayak University is starting two courses, they call it a digital marketing and the data science. And those are the first two courses they are trying to start, and that admission was open for any discipline. Anybody, they believe anybody can learn that. Anybody can learn blockchain, anybody can learn AI, and this will be the complementary to your domain knowledge. And your domain knowledge, which is going to be used in the disruptive technologies, for using that knowledge, these are the skills which are complementary. The LinkedIn report, it has come from that, and the report says there is a $4 trillion economy which requires 1.2 million people to work with these skills which are not available in the world. So that's it. So that's talking about the opportunity. Even if you take LinkedIn report survey, even if half of that is true, then also we look at the opportunity where 100,000 jobs which are waiting for the skills. These are some of the applications from mass manufacturing, and this happens in real industry. And why I'm showing this are the real time which are happening today. Predictive analytics for the furnace run length improvement, which was earlier done by simple Aspen model, now with the AI integrated into it, that the predictions which is coming out is much accurate. And again, what IoT promises, when you do the analysis with Six Sigma tool with the data, if you look at every tool which you are using, every analysis you are performing, there is an element of a human error which can happen. And when you look the IoT or when you look this technology, that element of the human error gets eliminated. And that's why I said how Six Sigma will become much effective when you use this kind of thing. So these are the asset tracking during the shutdown. So today, in the recent shutdown in Jamnagar refinery, a large amount of inspection was done through the drones. Otherwise, you require to build some 30, 40 meters of scaffolding for people to climb. There's a safety risk. There's a time required for building scaffolding, removing. Now, just drone goes and there is a robot which is flying the drone inside the furnace and which collects the data from wherever you want, which takes the pictures and transmit it real time where some engineer is sitting and analyzing those pictures. So all those things have become the reality. So when we talk about, as I said, it would have looked fantastic few years back, but now these are the things which are already happening in the industry. And if you look at the smart plants which are coming up, the shift engineer job, which was the most prestigious job when we started our career, may not exist 5 years down the line. Many of those jobs will go away. And in every transition, we have seen from industry 2 to 3 to 4, in every transition, the jobs which are created are more than job lost. But unfortunately, the job lost are much faster than the job gets created. So that is the time where people become pessimistic to what all things are happening. But believe me, all these things are going to create more jobs than the jobs which are going to be lost because of automation which is coming up. So these are some inhabitations and the barriers, which is normally for industry, so I will not discuss much about it. For all the students who are all sitting there, for them, all the disruptions coming in the world, all the new skills which are required to tackle those disruptions, and utilizing those challenges as an opportunity will have a huge impact on your career growth, which is a big facilitating factor for your career growth. And it not only promises the growth in career, it promises the very high quality of life, very high superior standard of life. And if we go back to my first graph of GDP growth, and if you look at in 1980, to buy a one refrigerator, if it took 3 years of saving for me, the engineers which we recruit today, they can buy 5 refrigerators in their first salary. That is with the $2.8 trillion economy. So when it is a $5 trillion economy, and the factors which are taking that economy there, if you are skilled in all those factors, it will not be fantastic to say in a few years of service you will be driving the BMWs or Mercedes and living in a posh apartment in a posh areas. So that is what all is for the chemical engineers. And when people ask me, what do you think you have missed? Then I always say I should have gone 25 years later and would have enjoyed the world which is available for the young people today. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed and you have some takeaways from this session. I am always available to you to connect with you on social media and wherever direct telephone contact as and when you want any advice or any guidance from me. So thank you. So thank you, Dawar. And once again, thanks to IIChE. Continue these initiatives and whatever areas you want to equip students with the new skill and the new knowledge. And whatever I have gathered in my career of 40 years, I'll be more than happy to share that knowledge and share the skills. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for such an amazing presentation. As said, nothing in life is more important than ability to communicate effectively. So your presentation today was as amazing and informative, and it was easily understood by everybody. And now I would like to go with SD Karve sir if he is here. So he can start next. Sir, are you there?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, sir.
Hello? Am I audible? Hello?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir, you are audible.
Yes. So good evening, respected seniors and my friends. It was my privilege to be a part of this program. My sincere thanks to all those who made this happen. It was a totally unique experience to conduct a virtual session training and connect with the participants all over India. So this is now a new normal, as we call it after COVID. So having Okay, shall I continue? Uh,
Sir, I'll be giving your introduction. Before that, I would like to introduce yourself to everybody present over here. So,
sure.
can you see my screen, sir?
कहाँ पे हो? कैमरा ऑन करो ना, सारों के कैमरे ऑन थे, आप जो
Okay.
Yeah, screen is
So,
visible.
ST Karve sir, I'm
आओ ना
feeling
एक बार कार में
privileged to
फोटो ले लो
introduce
फिर
him.
चले जाना.
ST Karve sir is having 37 years of experience in spanning domains of manufacturing, bottlenecking, project planning and commissioning, learning and development, Six Sigma and quality deployment functions, developing sustainable quality initiative at Reliance. Six Sigma COE, that is Center of Excellence, and quality he has achieved quality certification ASQ certified master black belt. He is fourth from India among very few Indians, and ASQ certified manager for organizational excellence, certified examiner of Ramakrishna Bajaj National Quality Awards. He has trained 50 RIL employees to get ASQ belt certification, 250 green belts at RIL, mentored 300 plus improvement project for manufacturing, services and Reliance retail, supply chain, Geo, FC&A, etc. Thank you, sir, for being part of this.
So, thank you. So, good evening, all, respected seniors and my friends. It was my privilege to be a part of this program. My sincere thanks to all those who have made it happen. It was a totally unique experience to conduct a virtual session training and connect with so many participants all over the India. This is a unique type of a program where having an exposure to Six Sigma methodology during the college days is definitely going to help the students to be to their in their professional life as well as their personal life. Now, your present curriculum of engineering will improve your technical competencies, while understanding the Six Sigma methodology will improve your data-driven mindset, which is very important in the industry. While and also the analytical skills, and will groom you as a future manager or the leaders for an organization. As Marathe said, he touched upon so many points that digitization. Then he talked about Industry 4.1. Now the concept of the Six Sigma tools which we have used here. Now with the improving technology, it has gone advanced. So with the 4. When we talk about the Industry 4.1, the next version is online analysis, or the analysis of the live data, which we are talking as an Industry 4.0. So now, as he said, he talked about also VUCA word, where everything is volatile and your analysis is most important, and the time factor is most important. So the next stage is having analytics. So the backbone of all those analytics tools are based on the Six Sigma tools. So once you understand this methodology and tools, it will be easier for the students to build on their career also in analytics, which is very important takeaway from a Six Sigma methodology training here. As I said, Six Sigma technology is a very systematic approach to improve the capability of the process. But when we are saying a capability, or when we talk about the Industry 4.1, digitization, or etc., often I find what is missing is we are not looking at the measurable outcome from the processes. So it is very important to understand improving a process without knowing the measurable outcome has no meaning. And that is what is most important thing the students must take away from these sessions, that whenever they go to the industry, they have to build up a model in their mind about the effect and cause relationship. The whole methodology of Six Sigma is around the effect and cause relationship. So there will be thousands of tools which will tell you that, but you need to understand what is the effect and what is the cause, and then work on that cause in a systematic manner. That is what is the Six Sigma, and which will be helpful for all the students in their career, professional career, and make them as an good managers or good leaders. Because whatever you do, what is most important is measurable outcome of any process. We talk about the digitization. The very important is if I do some digitization, what outcome I am going to get and what I can measure as an outcome of that process. So the important emphasis of Six Sigma here, and it is good that you are having that exposure at your college days, so that you understand that whatever I do should have a measurable outcome. That is the takeaway of this course, and the students should remember that throughout their career. And if they remember that, I think they have made it. Thank you. I wish all the students all the best, and thank you for giving me an opportunity.
Special thanks to Karvesa on very special request. I think I spoke with him Marathe for introducing us to Karvesa, and all the projects were guided by him for the relevant and being so I think so it went very well and they performed very well. All the projects the students have submitted it has been evaluated. So I think it really made a change, a game changer to have you with us. On behalf of IIChE and everyone, students, really thank you, sir, for being associated
Thank
for
you
being
for giving me an opportunity.
our learners. Yeah, Anjali, I think you can proceed. You're muted, Anjali.
Yes,
You're
yes.
muted. Anjali, you're muted. You need to unmute yourself.
Sorry, sir. Sir, you were saying something I couldn't hear in the past second, past few minutes. You said something after.
Yeah, please proceed. I think you can
Yeah,
go.
thank you, SD Karve sir, for throwing light on the Six Sigma thing. Now I'll proceed with Yogesh Kopalkar, sir, if he's here. Like, can I confirm and then proceed? Yogesh, sir, are you there? Can you confirm?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, thank you, sir. I would like to introduce yourself.
Yeah, proceed.
Yes, sir. Actually, the option has gone. That's why. Just a minute.
Yeah.
Uh,
Can you see my screen, sir?
No.
I guess it should be visible now.
It's visible.
I'd like to introduce Yogesh Kopalkar, sir. He has completed his graduation in chemical engineering from Bharati Vidyapeeth College of Engineering, Navi Mumbai in 1999. He has completed his Masters in Chemical Engineering from IICT Mumbai in 2003 and Doctorate of Philosophy in Technology from IICT Mumbai in June 2010. He is offering 15 years of experience in process engineering, ejaculation engineering, process design and commissioning, plant operation and product research and development, practicing Lean Six Sigma and TMP methodology for enhancing process productivity. He has implemented of process robust concept at site by continuously monitoring the process variables, RSM, DOE, and statistical concept implementation of product process variable and quality attributes. So, proficiency in managing project activities such as process and equipment selection, basic engineering, material engineering, balance FFB and FNID, project equipment layout, equipment sizing, layout finalization, material procurement, and process control. Depth in developing and streamlining a system with proven ability to enhance operational effectiveness and meet operational goals with cost, time, and quality parameters. He has his publications on solubility of ortho para hydroxyacetophenol in aqueous solution of sodium alkyl benzene sulfonate hydrotropes, which was published in Journal of Chemical and Engineering Data. And other publication is hydrotropic separation of mixture of ortho and para hydroxyacetophenol 2014, separation of published in Separation of Science and Technology. And another one more publication is the desulfurization using reactive absorption on metal impregnated functionalized polymer, which was published in Separation Science and Technology Journal. So thank you, sir, for being a part of this. And over to you now, sir.
Anjali, thank you very much. So, distinguished guest and the panelists who are present in this seminar, and it's a great opportunity to talk with the young minds, the budding chemical engineers over here. And I'm very glad to see you all. One thing I just remember, and it is said by one of my guru or my boss, the greatest end of life is not the knowledge, but the action you take it. Right? So Lean Six Sigma, what it tells, Lean Six Sigma, there are two words. One is lean and Six Sigma. Lean makes us to find out the waste and the delays which are happening in the day-to-day life or day-to-day process. And the Six Sigma is talks about the variation, why it is happening, and variation in the process. What is the cause for that? And mixture of Lean and Six Sigma gives you to find out the challenging tasks which are happening in the process, in the day-to-day industrial life, what I learned from that. Here, I just tell this budding engineers is that this is a great career path what we have chosen. Chemical engineering, yes, we are designing a system. After designing a system, we are implementing, installing a plant. But the people who are working at the shop floor, how they are managing it? What is the process variation which is happening? Now there, the Six Sigma come into picture. Now data verification or data evaluation, that we are doing it. And there are the tools which are given by Six Sigma and finding out the defects or the variation in that. I've gone through various projects of yellow belt. The standard is very good. Means the yellow belt is the start of the Lean Six Sigma. After that, the green belt. But the way in which the people or student had presented their projects, it was what I can say. It's really a good and awesome presentation, and the way in which they have presented. Now, I just like to carry forward this. Whatever tools you have learned, like 7QC tools, which are very much useful for finding out the solution for the problem. problem may be you will not get the productivity yield, or your RM not going very much higher. For that, you have to utilize your Six Sigma techniques like 7QC tools. 7QC tools, there are RCA, which is very important, and I have seen in your presentation. Now keep that thing with you for identifying the problems, and then as a teamwork you take it forward and implement it. Always have a positive intent to solve the problem will not be remain as it is. So just I will take this keynote and thank you for giving me an opportunity to talk on this and keep on learning the new methods. Now we are doing the data verification. Now there is another segment like Kapil sir had said, okay, industry 4.0. What is that? It tells you about the variation, what is happening. Now the industries are going for the online data storage, data evaluation, and then there is an artificial intelligence coming to picture. Why this is variation is happening, and human and the machine are coming together to find out the solution for the problem. Ultimately, this will give you the enhancing the process capability and the productivity. This is all. Thank you very much, and all the best for the budding chemical engineer. Thank you.
Thank you, Yogesh sir. I think you're introduced Yogesh sir, but I think right now he's the director at Vinayak on site and leading the site Pune. So thanks a lot, Yogesh ji, for actually coming up, and he also upgraded many of the projects of our greenfield and yellow belt. So we are really thankful to him for evaluating our students and guiding them to improve on their projects. Certainly, I have a separate lecture from you as well, sir. Shortly. Nice to see you after a long time. Yeah.
Yogesh sir, you're on mute.
Yes, Yogesh, like we can't hear you.
Yeah, there were a technical difficulty. Sorry for that. I have joined late. From company network, it was difficult to join, so I came home for that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for throwing the light on these things. And it was, as you said, as Yogesh said, the great end is not in knowledge and in action. So, keeping that in mind, we'll now go with the next industry expert so that he can also provide us with a similar knowledge that will enhance our skill, so that we can use in enhancing the skills. And will Atul sir, are you here so that we can proceed with you? Can you confirm?
I think Atul sir has left.
Okay, so like we can go with Ankur sir if he's here.
Yes, I am here.
Okay, so Ankur sir, I would like to introduce you in a short, briefly, before you proceed with the things.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So, Ankur Chaturvedi sir is here with us today, and he is the head of manufacturing operation at Montage Chemical and Private Limited. His background is in chemical engineering, and he has graduated from IIChE Mumbai, and he has joined the pharmaceutical industry after graduation, and he has worked with JSK and JJN in 2018 and took up the position in 2018. So thank you, sir, for part of this amazing closing ceremony, and we'll proceed now. Over to you, sir.
Okay, first of all, good evening and thank you, Anjali, for the kind introduction. And thank you to the entire IIChE team for organizing such a wonderful forum where we were able to interact with the students. And it's really an honor and pleasure that I'm invited along with such eminent personalities in the oil and gas, pharma, and in general the chemical engineering sector as such. So, at the outset, before I can continue, I would just like to congratulate you all for the wonderful presentations and the wonderful work which you have done during this course. We could also learn a bit about presentation skills and a lot. We could also learn a lot from you. So, wonderful job done by all the students. Now, coming to the topic at hand, see, Charles Darwin was a naturalist, and he always said that uh, it is not the strongest or the wisest of the species which survives. It is the one most responsive to change and the one most receptive to learning. So, what I would like to basically say is that this has been touched upon by the speakers ahead of me, like right from Marathe sir to the speaker before me. Industry is changing at a very fast pace. If you look at where we were, maybe 100 years back, this is before the start of the jet age. From jet age to the space age, it took us, say maybe 50 years. And from the space age to now the digital age, it took us 20 years. And now who knows like where we are going? From maybe industry 4.2 to industry 5 or beyond that, it will take very less time because of the pace of change. So now the biggest challenge is that we have to keep, changing with the changing times. And we have to keep on upgrading our skills. That is where your Lean Six Sigma and the tools associated with it comes in. I come from the pharma industry where, this is an industry which is heavily regulated and one most reluctant to change. But the irony is that this is the one which is being the disrupting factor in many of the, especially the data integrity issues which come in for the Lean Six Sigma thing. So now, see, so this is what I would like to say about Lean Six Sigma. Uh, it's not only sufficient to identify the problems. Yes, identification and the root cause analysis, fishbone diagram, Ishikawa diagram, that is a part or that is a methodology in which you will be able to identify the lacunae and the issues in your system. What we look for and what I would really appreciate that if maybe say 20-30 people will be able to identify the problem, how many of it is really, it will be very appreciable if out of that 30 people, if 10% of the crowd can really come up and give practical workable solutions to those issues which have been identified, and we can implement those, same solutions which have been, made. So that is where that is what I say, that is where the crux of the Lean Six Sigma lies. That is one thing. Secondly, I would also like to say that, going forward, we have to be very responsive to change. Due to COVID-19, you can see within 8 months how the industry, how the work from home, how all these different methodologies have impacted the way in which we work, and our entire lifestyle has gone to change. That same mindset, that same disruptive mindset, in a positive way, we have to apply in the industry. All of you all are very lucky that you could learn this at this institution or a college level. For most of us, we had to really go up in the industry and then had other experts come in and lecture us about the Lean Six Sigma tools. Use these skills to your advantage and be one up uh, than your peers. That will really help you. And what lastly I would like to add is that it's not, see, chemical engineering is not only designing or problem analysis or solutions to that thing. You should be really in touch with the shop floor because that is where the problems start and that is where the problems end. So until and unless you're in touch with your shop floor, what your junior managers, what your junior executives are doing, how much ever you implement, analyze your tools, ultimately they are the ones who are going to execute what you are going to say. So you really need to understand how it is done on a very basic level, and then use, backward integrate that knowledge into your problem solving techniques and whatever the analysis which you're making, and then put it back on the shop floor. That will be, I would say, much more effective and a better way to, a quicker way to solve the issues which crop up from time to time. This will also give you better process control. This will give you a feel of the process. Ultimately, all this will lead to, say, process improvement, whether it be incremental, whether it be disruptive, but yes, definitely process improvement. And in turn, the company will also become more profitable. So this is what I would like to say. Just three things: that have an open mind. Uh, don't say it's not my job. I mean, just because I'm a chemical engineer doesn't mean you cannot learn about IT, or doesn't mean you cannot learn about mechanical engineering, doesn't mean you cannot learn about foods, everything. If it's there to be learned, go ahead and learn it. Identify these problems, but just don't stop at identification of the, bottlenecks. Try to solve them. Keep an open mind, and yes, change. If you see an opportunity to change, positive change, grab it by both your hands and implement it. So this is, I would like to just conclude here, and thank you very much for inviting me. It has been an honor and it has been a pleasure.
Thank you so much, sir. As Ankur sir said, we need to be adaptive to the changes that are coming into our life so that we can grow every day, updating ourselves with the latest technology. And we are lucky to have such opportunities arranged by IIChE so that we can improve on our knowledge. So now I would like to go with Rahul Powell sir if he is here. So he can confirm. Yeah, sir, I can see you. So I would like to introduce yourself to the everyone else present over here.
Okay, you want me to start?
So before that, I would like to introduce yourself to everyone over present over here. So
Okay, you can hear me?
yes, sir, properly.
Okay, fine. I'm Rahul Porwal. I'm a chemical engineer. I passed out in 1990 and I'm a first generation entrepreneur. And now I'm into API and API intermediates manufacturing. I've got 2 units in Vapi and I'm mostly busy with that only. So, first, I would like to thank IIChE for giving me an opportunity. And it is very nice to see all the industry leaders over here. And somehow I feel very small in front of them. With years of experience, what you have, I hardly have any experience. So, but one thing I would like to tell to all students, Six Sigma, you call it ISO 9000, whatever it is a system which helps you out. You must be thinking that this is a system. Okay, ये quality system है, fine. But what's the big thing in that? But the thing is that once you understand the system comes into you, and what Mr. Marathe had told that this, if moment you start understanding the system comes into your life, and you are able to take decision, proper decision always. Okay, and secondly, I would like to tell you that for those who are going to be entrepreneur like me, even if it is a small company, if you're going to run this
Sir,
system, yeah,
sorry to interrupt you, but actually I was supposed to introduce yourself.
no
If
problem,
I
no
can
problem.
get that
Sure.
opportunity.
Yeah, please carry on. Please carry on.
Thank you, sir. So, like Rahul Powell, sir, is his motto basically is PhD, that is patience, hard work, and determination. So, he has completed his chemical engineering from University of Pune in 1990. He is the first generation entrepreneur, started with his first manufacturing unit in 1993 after working for 2 years, and now runs two manufacturing units and a trading firm. He is into production of API and API intermediate. He has 30 years of experience in chemical industries and has mentored many students, not only with the technical aspects of chemical engineering, but also with the management of the manufacturing industry, especially with legal and technical requirements. So it is, sir, our privilege that you are here. So over to you, sir, now.
Okay, thanks. So shall I continue?
Yes, sir. Sorry for interrupting you.
No problem, no problem. So students, this Six Sigma is going to help you to be more disciplined in your life. Okay, and those who want to be first generation entrepreneur or those who are already are entrepreneur having small units, never think that this is not going to be helpful for you. Believe me, such systems are going to be really helpful in your life. Because whether it is, like you can say, uh, where you find breakdowns, maintenance, supply chain, Six Sigma say or say ISO 9000, any quality system is going to be beneficial for you. And one thing I would like to tell you, chemical industry in India is growing by leaps and bounds, but chemical engineers are still underrated. I'll tell you one thing. I do feel sad when we engineers are feel being underrated. Okay, so with this, I would like to conclude and thanks once again for such an opportunity given to me. Thanks.
Thank you, sir, being a part of this. And now I would like to, I would request everyone over here, like you keep your cameras on, if possible, and keep yourself on mute. So we'll now proceed towards the Amit Matre, sir. He's here, and before that, sir, before you give your knowledge to the all present over, all the coordinators and all the intern students, everyone present over here. So before that, I would introduce yourself to the everyone present. Uh, Sir, I'm again feeling blessed to to introduce you again. So it's like Amit Matre sir is a process engineer by profession, and he's having 10 years of experience in chemical plant designing, operation, process intensification study, project commissioning, etc. And is currently working in the Lakshmi Organics Mumbai, a specialty chemical manufacturer in Mumbai, and he has completed his BE from Mumbai University and his masters from IIChE Mumbai. So now over to you, Amit Matre sir.
Okay, thanks Anjali. It's my pleasure and you give me opportunity to assist young students, give them valuable suggestions about their directions utilizing. Basically, Six Sigma tools is the basically function which gives you the direction for the identify the problems, is solutions towards the solving the problem. So basically it's a great opportunity to identify problem using the systematic tools that having the Six Sigma. Young students are basically utilizing these tools to get direction about their problem solving ability. It's good basically the students are utilizing this knowledge for the Six Sigma. My suggestion for the student to give, do the more brainstorming for that. So identify the problem, the number of causes for the problem gives the number of solution for that. So this is basically opportunity to learn new things, solve the problem in the industry scale. So it's good.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for part of this. Like being giving such amazing knowledge to everybody, and I know you were the only one evaluating me, so I know you were, like we had interaction before also. Yes, sir. So like I would, if anybody is having any questions or want to ask anything to, because there are such privileged people here, such experts, knowledgeable people. So if you would like to interact with them, ask them questions, towards your career or anything. So please ask them, and you can put your questions in the chat box as well. So I would, if anybody is facing any issue during afternoon, so you can start now.
Sir, I have a one question. Hello, am I
Yeah,
audible?
Himanshu, can you also, Himanshu, you are speaking, right?
Yeah, I'm speaking.
So, what you can, to whoever, if you are having questions to particular person, so you can address that particular person as well.
Yes, I have a question
Yeah.
for Vinayak Marathe, sir. Sir,
Vinayak Maharaj.
yes, sir. Dr. Vinayak Marathe, sir. Recently, recently,
Yeah, yeah. Tell me, I was about to sign off, so I'll answer your question.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Actually, we are going. There is a externals are going in my university, and there is a journal proficiency option is there external. So there, I will provide our internship certificate of Lean Six Sigma. I'm in a
Yeah.
final year. So when I will say to my guide that there is a final year. In the final year, there is a project also. In my university, all are be shocked that I will do a Lean Six Sigma internship, and when I will say that I will do that things ki I will make a project on a Lean Six Sigma final year project on a Lean Six Sigma working. So, sir, what should we will be doing that?
What is required is the final year project. If I understand whatever I had done many years back, and I quite often go to UG student as an external in IICT Mumbai and sometime in IITs also.
Yes.
So that project, what you are doing in the university, it is uh, essentially either it's a dissertation or the nobody does the experimentation. The dissertation where to manufacture some product where you
Yes.
understand the all aspects of setting up a factory, starting from location and layout and economics and couple of equipments you design into that. You address the waste management, environment, safety, all aspects. So you have to do that project. You can apply your Lean Six Sigma knowledge into that project. You
Oh,
say that
yes, sir.
by applying a lean knowledge, how I am reducing the waste, how I am integrating all my energy conservation into the project. But Lean Six Sigma cannot replace the project which is done in the for the UG course, especially. So you have to that course, and then you can make that process for make that project much more effective by applying the Lean Six Sigma. Because here, whatever projects you have done, you have no knowledge of the actual process. Whatever projects I had seen, the biscuit project or the PET projects, and the
Yes, sir.
project
Yes,
where
sir.
the group was not having the knowledge of the process, and when what project you do in the university, you will have a knowledge of the process also now. So you can more effectively apply the Lean Six Sigma there.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Hello, sir. Here Gopal. Can I'm audible, sir? Hello.
Yeah, you are audible.
Yes, sir.
You want to ask a question?
Yes, sir. From you, sir. Sir,
Okay.
I have seen in your PPT, sir. We are using 79% of consumption of plastic by landfilling. Sir, any way to be convert plastic into biodegradable so we can use plastic efficiently.
No, that is why the whole world is working on various options of recycling the plastic. And that I showed you as an opportunity. Suppose tomorrow, if you want to take up the higher studies, if you want to do your post graduation and PhD, there is one area where there are large number of opportunities. The entire world is working on how do you recycle the plastic and gainfully utilize it. And people, so there are two parts. One is whatever you are producing, how do you recycle and gainfully, or how do you destroy without impacting the environment. And second is what you said is the manufacture itself biodegradable. So that area also lots of research is happening. And this all we are talking about some particular grades of the plastic which are not good for the recycle. Otherwise, entire PET get recycled. So PET is not the issue. but then all the particular grades of polyethylene, where there is a so if you can manufacture in Reliance, I remember even the chairman had asked, why, maybe why don't you target the milk pouches and the kind of thing which can be made a biodegradable plastic, because which is one of the largest consumptions, especially in India. Maybe rest of the world, the Tetra packs are used much more than the polyethylene bags in India. So so there is a work which is going on in that area. But today there is no economical, any research is of no meaning unless it makes the business sense at the end of the day. You can't have a bag manufactured at double the cost and they say it is biodegradable. Nobody is going to buy that. So.
Yes, sir. Sir, one more thing. Sir, we are advancing in industry also. As recently, our economy is growing by our industry. But side by side, we are facing some pollution in environmental, in air also, in land also, in water, everything, sir. So, sir, what can you do to balance these?
So for that, there are technologies exist. If you just go to Reliance Jamnagar refinery, it's a zero discharge refinery. So you don't allow even a drop of water of, going outside. Entire thing is reclaimed and reused for gardening and whatever different purpose. And
Yes.
air emission, where of course you take care of sulfur, nitrogen very well, but the CO2 is growing, and that is what I talk about, how to do the decarbonization in that area. So that's not called a pollution today, it's called a global warming. Pollution is from sulfur, nitrogen, and other particulate matter which are being released in the atmosphere. So that technologies do exist for controlling. But in the olden days, the project design, in the we call it a design basis of the project, in which effluent treatment was never getting addressed as effectively, which is required to be done today. Otherwise, and that increase the capex into the project, of course, and that is why I said when you put the new industries today, the challenges are not only making it economical, but making it economical by addressing the all other aspects of pollution. Of course, is mandatory, but also the CO2 emission and other aspects also.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir. Thank you. My one question to Korwal, sir.
Yeah, Gopal.
Yes, sir.
Actually, we have Mr. Raja Gopal and Mr. Vasu here is from Mumbai. Sorry, Singapore. QTNT.
Okay.
I would request you all to please on your cameras so that we can have one snapshot. Like during, because I'm taking snapshots during this also, so keep it on if possible so that we can have screen snapshots.
I think only Mr. Raja Gopal sir and Vasu sir are also there. So I think Mr. Raja Gopal sir and Vasu sir will be responsible.
So before, so should I go with Raja Gopalan sir and Vasudev sir?
Yeah, please go ahead and then you can have the question round at the end. Will be better.
Okay, sir. So
8:15 right now.
okay, sir. Just give me a minute.
Yeah, Dhawal, you have to excuse me. I'll be
Yes,
signing
sir.
off. I got
Okay,
some
sir. No
other
problem.
calls, so thank you very much for inviting. And
Thank you, sir. It was
yeah,
pleasure. Pleasure that you joined and keep guiding us, sir.
no, no,
And
it's my pleasure.
that
Thank you.
you will keep having another session for Lean Six Sigma.
Yeah.
And
Lean Six Sigma, you can talk about process safety management, I said, and some other things also you can do that.
Dhaval
So
sir,
thank you very much. Thank you.
thank you, sir.
Dhaval sir, Vinayak sir, can we take a one screenshot?
Yes, please. Okay. I think Anjali can proceed.
Yes, sir.
Raghagopalan sir and Vasudevan sir.
Aditi, Abhishek, Shri.
Yes, sir. I'll go with them. So first I'll go with Raja Gopalan sir if he's there here.
Yeah, please.
Yes, sir. So Good evening, sir. Sorry for this. Actually, I was not aware about you. So, we'll proceed with Raja Gopal. Gopal sir, we have already had many lectures of him in during the Yellow Belt. So, sir, over to you now. So, you can throw the light of how the industry, how we can work towards, in, increase our knowledge for the industry so that we can prepare ourselves and make the best of our knowledge and our actions towards it. So you can now give the knowledge to the students and all the coordinators and everyone present over here.
Yeah, very good evening, all of you, and all esteemed speakers. And it was really an excellent keynote speak by Vinayak, Marathe, and Kavisa. I just wanted to start like a famous quote, like the illiterate of 21st century will not be those who do not know how to write and read. It will be those who do not unlearn and learn and relearn. So this is gist of whatever the people have been speaking. Everybody was talking about learning and all relearning. And another most important thing came was the Industry 4. How Industry 4 is going to affect this Six Sigma, Lean Six Sigma. Let me tell you.
By looking for the right people instead of just people, right? So industries today are looking for the right people with the right process, with right technologies, and of course right partners to get the right results. So ask yourselves, are you the right people, right person? I can say that right away, since you have taken a decision to take Six Sigma, you are the right person now. It's just that you need to really, take it in a very positive way mindset and move on to the next level of excellence, right? So take this journey seriously, sincerely, and I'm sure that you will be able to apply the learnings the right way. So we at QTNT helped, I think, around close to 60,000 professionals today, hardcore working professionals in the corporate today. And students, we have also trained some of the few institutions like Goa Institute of Management, in Chennai, Great Lakes, and few more. We have already trained lots of students, and we know what students are expecting out of this journey and what the companies would expect from the students who will learn Six Sigma or claim that they are certified in Six Sigma. So keeping that in mind, we have designed the certifications very clearly with criteria at par with any gold standard certification, right? We are based at the headquarters in Singapore, and you know what, Singapore, the way they perceive as a country is of quality, and that's why we are headquartered in Singapore instead of elsewhere, and we follow it. And Singapore is a hardcore process-driven country. If you look at COVID situation, I don't know how many of you are really aware of it. Today, the number of cases has come to 1, 2, or 3, and 0 literally for the last 3 days. It's just that asymptomatic, or the cases have been prevailing now, but otherwise they brought down to the level 0 from where it was 1,500 plus. So the way they structure, the way they follow the approach, I would not definitely be surprised if they not apply some of the techniques and tools or the principles of Six Sigma. And that powerful it is. Let me tell you that Lean and Six Sigma go together with lots of reasons behind it. But fundamentally, let me tell you guys, you have developed a scientific thinking approach now rather than just opinion-based. And through data-driven approach, you can become a very good cost leaders today. And that is what industry is looking for you. To how you see the problem, how you manage the problem, how you really resolve those problems, and most importantly, how do you help organizations today to meet their objectives? Number one objective is to meet the expectations of the consumer, not just customer. Right? So be consumer centric, and this is very important. And you are going to carry a passport through our certifications, which has set some clear-cut criteria without absolute compromise. You have to fulfill their mandatory criteria. I'm sure Raj Gopal's slide will explain the basic rules. But what I would suggest is you should really attend the training 100%, no compromise, no 70%, no 80%, 100% attendance in the training with all the exercises given in the training has to be completed on time, and also make sure that you should identify an improvement project, make sure that the problem, and it has got standard which actually have to be followed, right? So like a chemistry or biology in any of your schools today, you have to follow the syllabus. The way it is taught, the way you have understood the concept, the way you are applying the concepts makes a lot of difference in the perception of you in front of the corporate. So today, you are going to be the certified professional from QTT means a lot for a company in terms of perception. So you differently and be prepared. And I'm very sure by going through our certification, I'm not trying to sell QTT here. I'm telling what has been evident today, right? So we have been proven and with the large corporates and the professionals today are excelling a lot. And one of the largest customers is Godrej today. Save a lot of money and Cadbury's when you talk about India. Right? We have trained a lot of people who handle lots and lots of projects, keeping their own in-house capabilities, and they all got certified, and they're very proud to be QTNT certified professionals today. And I want you to be trained well in the safe hands with Rajagopal as a master black belt for QTNT, taking care of our QTNT business in India for training business and certifications. Don't worry, we are here to assist you in the way you will be evaluated, and we will ensure that you have the right passport to any corporates. And blessings are always there for you from QTNT. Guys, students, I have only one thing to say: all the very best, and especially with the COVID, stay safe, maintain some social distancing, and Q like a passport for you. The projects that you are doing with the guidance of Master Black Belt is going to be the visa for you to get into any corporate to excel in the journey. To a short note, I would like to conclude my talk and thank you once again, Mr. President, Professor, and Mr. Dhawal, and all others who's been coordinated very well. I'm hearing the whole, I see the last 45 minutes, but it has been a great, insightful thought for you. But all that I want to say is big thank you for being this, giving the opportunity to be part of this. All right, with this note, very goodbye and thank you, and looking forward to see you all soon, or we'll be back. Right? Thank you.
Thank you, Osip sir. It was a pleasure to have you during the our journey of Clean Six Sigma training, the initial training given to developer students, and definitely we get motivated when we hear things. From IIChE, I would really like to thank you because you went for accredited course of Clean Six Sigma.
Sure.
It is really making it to such a subsidiary level, looking into the energy of students and appreciating them. It's really an honor that we are associated with such good people, technocrats.
Pleasure is mine, sir. Pleasure is
We
mine.
really want to make young budding engineers even more industrially acceptable by providing such trainings, techniques, and skills. So it was really great, sir, and we continue and special things given to IIChE is really applauded. Certainly, I will publish it in our editorial and will certainly take it ahead. And hope to have more and more lectures from you.
Will do. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for joining today. It's a lot.
It's okay. It's a very usual thing for me. It's just that it's a family time for me. We all have because of the COVID, you understand what I mean? So we have a call, family call, planned call. It's coming up in 4 minutes now. So great, sir. Thank you very much. Okay. And pleasure is mine. So all your students deserve the best, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
So with your blessings, I'll leave the call. So if you don't mind.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. I think really.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for all the senior members and Mr. Praveen Satyamani, the Vice President IIChE is working. We can just give a couple of minutes to me. We start with the question and answer. I think we are running late actually.
Level sir, just a minute. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I also have to leave now.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much for giving all. It's really pleasure to be associated with IIChE.
Definitely. Thank you, sir. I think the certificates from OTPS and IIChE will be released to students on Monday.
Sure, Monday.
So, working on it. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Anjali, I think you can finish.
So, sir, I should go with Praveen sir now.
Yeah, please.
Okay. So, I'll now go with Sir Praveen Saxena ji. And he's the director and CEO of Blast Cargo Blocks Private Limited. He's the vice president of IICHE, vice president of Indian Carbon Society member BIS MED 17. He is in various editorial boards and holder of many IICHE awards and supporting IICHE in every way. And is the sponsor at Campcon and S Campcon and Outstanding Young Chemical Engineers Award past 11 years. So hand over to you, Praveen Saxena ji. Sir, he's here. Praveen sir.
I think he's not able to hear us. I think we can go on with the questions at least. I think he's unable to hear.
So sir, before that, I would like to Praveen Patil sir was supposed to be here, but due to he got some work, so he's not there here today. And also Atul sir, I guess he joined, but due to technical issues, he couldn't continue. He's not available right now. So we can now proceed towards the Q&A sessions. We can continue from there. So those because it's a great opportunity, you can directly talk to the people, such knowledgeable people. So go ahead with it and ask your questions.
Hello, sir. Hello, my question is to Russell. Russell, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, tell me. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, sir. My question is regarding sir entrepreneurship. Yes, sir. Sir, I'm thinking that fertilizer is very good, but I'm thinking about sir composting. So, sir, I see that composting is not at very corporate level and not in a spread area. So sir, how can we grow in the composting so we can make our life better and good land also?
See, composting is more of a small scale industry, right? Whatever composting industry I have seen is generally in a smaller area. So, do you have any particular area in mind where you want to sell your compost?
You're selling it actually in Rajasthan in a field. So they're using they're using khad also. Means,
Right.
but yes, but their khad is not very good quality. Means कि they use lot of. So I'm thinking that कि by low quality, means कि by low quantity, by high quality, we can give more and more and increase our production and reduce the impact of fertilizer on the land also.
Right. Very true. It's a very good idea. So what you can do if you really want to go for composting, you can start with a smaller area. See, whenever it's an agro-based product, right? Agro needs a very high level of intensive marketing, very intensive marketing. You have to go to each and every field, give demonstrations, and then find the results. And secondly, in agro, results will come after 3 months, 4 months down the line. Okay, once the result comes, the season will go off. Then again, it will be in the next year, next season. So no doubt, agriculture. See, about 70% of our Indian population, directly or indirectly, they are linked to agriculture. And composting, it's coming up in a very big way. So it is a really good idea. You should go ahead in this. And what actually is holding you up? What is the problem you're facing for composting?
Actually, sir, I need some guidance ki how to do because I know that competition is very good, but I need some help so we can get.
See, composting a different type of composting. Like you do it with cow dung, or you can do even vermi composting. There are many types of composting. Some research you'll have to do, especially what the crops in your area, like you say Rajasthan. So what crops you know like they are growing there. So compared with that, what compost will be used over there? You know, nitrogen-based fertilizers or phosphate-based fertilizers. So you have to see which compost you will be using. You cannot generalize compost everywhere.
Okay.
Yes. So you'll have to see what type of fertilizer are used over there. There are some places where the amount of sulfur is very low in the soil. So what they do, they use sulfur-based, fertilizers, more of sulfur-based fertilizers. In some soil, nitrogen content is quite low. So what they do, they use nitrogen-based fertilizers. So
Yes,
you
sir.
have to select which area you want, okay, and what type of nutrients is required over there.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay. Yeah, means कि sir, you were saying कि like sir, in many fields there are area of fruits, area of vegetables, area of
yes,
crops. Different different
exactly.
area we need different
Yes,
different
yes.
constituents. Okay,
Very
okay.
good. Very true. Very true. It is that way. It is. So you have to take one particular area. I would say just take one district. Don't think of whole of Rajasthan. Take one particular district. Okay. What are the crops that are growing there? And then you see what type of compost is required over there. So you'll have to talk to farmers. You talk to some dealers and everything, and only then you can go ahead with this.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for guidance. So I
And
can.
I'll tell you, agro marketing is highly intensive marketing, highly intensive. Okay, because I've gone through this. That's why I know it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Anytime you can give me a call anytime if there's any issues, any help you require, you can surely give me a call anytime.
Sir, actually, sir, I have not your contact number, sir.
Okay, I will ask somebody to give you my contact number.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Salim,
Dhaval sir, I
yeah.
think cameras are off. It's a humble request to all. Please on your camera so we can create a screenshot and make a one short memory.
I request everyone now to just you can clear your doubts as well, please. Srijan and
Yeah,
everyone getting
sir.
received many questions as well. You can ask
Hello, sir.
to
Hello, sir. Sir, I have a
Yogesh.
question.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. My question to sir, Ankur, sir, about pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I had a network interruption. I'm here now.
Okay, nee, okay, thank you, sir. Sir, I want to ask question, sir, as a new fresher, if I want to go, so sir, what is working culture? What will be our consequences? What should be techniques should we learn? I want to know about in industry in pharmaceuticals.
Okay, look, pharmaceutical industry is a very large industry. Okay, I will try to give you a brief gist of the answer, but try to understand that I will not be able to touch upon all the bases or all the points because within pharmaceutical industry there are so many, other sub industries. We had an API expert with us today. There are other formulations. Biotechnology comes into the picture. Biopharmaceuticals come into the picture. And all of them have different work cultures. That is a work culture. But by and large, what I would like to tell you is that the pharma industry, the pharma sector, the key differentiating points between pharma and the other industries is it is one of the most regulated industry. When I say regulated industry means each and everything has a SOP which has to be strictly followed. That SOP, if it is not followed some way or the other down the line, you may get into trouble with the regulatory authorities, and that trouble is okay. That is one point. But if you do not follow your norms or SOPs, it will directly impact the quality of the medicines or the drugs which are being produced, and which will have a in turn direct impact on human health. So you have to really be very very careful what you're doing. Um, Safety aspects, yes, because there are certain, I won't say different. See, each and every what you need to understand that each and every pharma plant, okay, take an API plant. So each and every API plant is built around a certain family of products. You tell me there is no one particular plant or there is no one particular site which will be able to do most of the products or something like that. So yeah, as far as the safety culture is concerned, for those products which that particular site is making, most of the industries are doing it very properly, and as such there have been no issues or incidences which have happened. uh, Now, as far as the what do you say, the packages and everything else is concerned, yeah, it is a very good place to work for a fresher. Chemical engineers are required definitely, although as of now, because of the regulations in place, by and large, the industry has been dominated by B farms, M farms, people who have come from a BSc or MSc background. But yes, for plant management, plant operations, plant setup, and now even into production, most of the production, the shop floor production, it is handled by chemical engineers more and more so. And we will be requiring such good chemical engineers in the future as well. Strangely, I am a chemical engineer. I got into the bulk drug. I started my career out with the BID, the bulk drugs industry, where I was an outcast initially. But then the tricks of the trade, and I could do the job on par with the people who came from different backgrounds. And yeah, I really enjoyed the, you know, enjoyed working for the pharma sector, and I really do enjoy working for the pharma sector because ultimately, at the end of the day, you know that what actions you're taking on the shop floor are directly impacting someone's health. So it's a matter of responsibility as well as a matter of deep pride. So that I would say is in the gist of my answer to you.
Okay, sir. One
Can I
in
add
this
something?
regard.
Just sir, Ankurji, can I add something more into this?
Yeah, please, please. I was actually expecting you to add something.
Okay, the thing is that pharma industry is such a regulated industry, and where here and the other way you're talking of compost industry, which is an agro industry. I'll tell you one thing, don't feel bad, but agro industry and pharma are two separate, like they're 180 degrees apart. I started my career as what Mr. Ankush, even I started my career with the pharma industry. Then I thought I should diversify into agro. And when I went to agro, I just got mad because in pharma, everything is very systematic. You make samples, you pass your samples, you give them test reports, you have a purchase order system. Everything is so systematic, correct? But when you go into agro, you are working with
Yeah, so basically what we are trying to tell you is that you require a different mindset. And कैसा है कि हम आपको बता रहे हैं कि ऐसा है, but ultimately see once you get into it, you will experience it by yourself. And what is comfortable for you, you have to, and where you feel you can make a career growth. And what is most comfortable to you, your personality. See, if a person is very ordered, he likes to work in a regulated atmosphere, SOP के हिसाब से जाना है, then pharma is a place for him. But if a person is like he likes, it's like more of a marketing job, interaction with people. He has, the gift of the gap. मतलब बोलना पसंद है, marketing में अच्छा है. So then maybe agro, MR, those kinds of professions are, I would say, more suitable to that particular personality type. So ultimately, it will really depend. आप पहले घुस जाइए इंडस्ट्री में, एक्सपीरियंस कीजिए आपको क्या पसंद है, and then based on that, you can take a really call. Do you want to continue working in this particular sector, or do you want to take a sectoral shift? But don't leave the decision to too late. Okay, I mean, 2 or 3 years of years of experience in the industry will give a very good insight into that particular sector.
very true, very true, very true.
Okay. Actually, sir, I have some lots of doubts, so I am trying to get solution. So thank you, sir.
Yeah.
You solved my
Because
problem.
these two are very separate. So as what Mr. Ankur said, you have to decide what, and you have to decide it now. You cannot decide when it's too late.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Excuse me, Rahul, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I have a small question to ask. I just want to ask that before this at the very initial of this session, Vinayak Marathe sir told us about the 5 trillion economy impact. So I would like to know that what would be the impact on the target of 5 trillion economy if all the non-renewables like petrochemical and other fossil fuels, if they are replaced by all the renewables. And would it be an easy target to reach that 5 trillion economic goal, or would it be more complicated?
As of now, no, it is not possible. Okay, because see, if you have solar energy or you have wind energy, the amount of cost is quite high. Especially, when it comes to the capital cost, correct? Now,
Yes, sir.
to reach to the economy, you have to have come up with MSME sectors because they are the one who can actually pull it up. Okay, because MSME sectors are one which contribute more to the growth of the country, especially with the labor. Because when you have a $5 trillion economy, you have to have more of labor, right? And more of labor can be absorbed only by MSME. Now, if you go for renewable source of energy, the capital investment is very high. No doubt, the running cost is quite less. The capital investment as of now is very, very high. So it will be very difficult, as of now. Okay,
Okay.
this is what I see. But it will take some. Once the capital cost comes down, yes, surely it will be a way forward. No doubt about it.
So do you think that after 10 or 15 years, these companies would sustain, the petrochemical and all these companies would
No,
sustain?
because see now you are going more of electric cars, right? Now where we are lagging behind is they have not come up with a battery that can go run for 1,000 kilometers. Once they come up with a battery that runs for 1,000 kilometers, I'll telling you most of the petrol or diesel driven vehicles will stop because they'll be very cheap to run. Now what we
Yeah.
have, even Tesla can give you not more than 350 kilometers of range. Correct.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
do you think that
Actually,
that is possible in
Yes.
next years,
Yes.
10 or
Next
15
10
years?
years, yes, yes, 10 to 15 years, yes, but not as of now. Not as of now.
yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I want to add, sorry I'm interrupting,
No problem.
Purvalji, thing is ki, what you're saying is absolutely very correct. There's actually, if you think about, for the students, if you think but deeper about the issue, the thing is ki even electricity also, majority of electricity which is being generated in the country or worldwide today is coming from non-renewable sources. So
Yes.
even if tomorrow, 10, 15 years down the line, people come up with a battery which can last for say 10,000 kilometers, the see basically what you have done mass transfer. मतलब आप
Exactly. Correct. Correct.
पेट्रोल गाड़ी के टैंक में नहीं डाल रहे हो लेकिन इक्विवेलेंट पेट्रोल आप कहीं पावर प्लांट में जला रहे हो
Yeah.
बेसिकली.
Right. Right.
So,
Right.
so what we really need to see, what राहुल जी भी वही बता रहे हैं कि what we really need to look at is क्या issue at source जो है मतलब जो ये renewable energy का thing is कि right now what is absolutely correct in saying that the capex or the capital investment for these kinds of projects is very high. But yes, down the line, maybe 10, 15 years down the line, once the capital investment and the operating costs also, the maintenance cost, once it comes down, then maybe we can see more of these, technologies being really power generate correctly used. And from there, you're starting to shift towards a greener economy. But yes, overnight or in the near future, it's very difficult. This have to be incremental changes. So क्या होगा कि आपकी बैटरी पावर कहाँ रहेगी? Then the next question people will ask you, बैटरी में भी इलेक्ट्रिसिटी लग रही है, उसके लिए हम नॉन रिन्यूएबल सोर्सेस यूज करें, तो उसका क्या करें? So then you start asking questions and that narrative वैसा build होगा, and that is where what we are trying to say is कि that is where you people will come into the picture, because we will be retired by that time.
Right.
So
Very
you
true.
people can really think of, how to shift from, or rather, okay, forget how to shift from renewable or non-renewable to renewable, but how to increase the efficiency of combustion in, say, even in your renewable sources. So you start with that, and then maybe incremental changes करके we will reach to a greener economy, like maybe 10, 15 years down the line.
So you mean that we need more breakthrough inventions before that?
Exactly. Exactly. We still need more breakthrough.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. That's it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Welcome.
Amit sir, Rahul sir, and Ankur sir, I have a general question. Like now, I'm a chemical engineer. I'm learning chemical engineering, and now I've done Lean Six Sigma. So, like, what are the skills should I take before I go into the industry?
What type of industry you want to go? First, it depends on that.
I want to go into chemical industry at least for some years.
But which chemical? Again, chemical is a very vast field. You want dyes, you got textile, you got pharma, you got basic chemicals, you got heavy chemicals, you got a nuclear power plant. So it's a very vast industry. Chemical is a very vast industry.
So actually, I till now have not thought about like if I want to work in any specific.
So you
See,
have to.
yeah,
Please carry on. Coach, carry on.
Okay. See, basically, अगर ऐसा general है, if you're talking about general, so then what we would or what I would suggest is that have an analytical approach. Means engineering, don't look at it as a mere degree. I always tell all my colleagues, all my subordinates, it is a way of thinking actually. So try to keep your eyes open, observe karo how things are working on the shop floor. Try to analyze them as per your knowledge. Initially, you may not be exposed to the newer technologies or may not be at the top of the food chain. That is all okay, but at least you can observe and then use your analytical abilities which have been developed over your engineering career, all these Lean Six Sigma, and try to make these small but necessary changes. because often a process can be made much more productive by a simple change of, say, a propeller design, or by a simple change of a dead-body ratio of a reactor. And it can be very, very simple, which the gurus or so-called technical gurus may have overlooked while during plant design. So approach your curriculum to learning, and observe and use analytical skills. अगर आप generally पूछ रहे हो, other and then what Rahul ji, what he is saying is कि each industry will demand a specific skill set, so that you have to build as you go.
जैसे अगर आप बल्क ट्रक में जाते हो एपीआई में, तो वहां ज्यादा करके सब these are all batch processes. Most of the bulk truck will have batch processes. But if you go to some basic chemicals like sulfuric acid, manufacture nitric or hydrochloric, these are all continuous process. So that these require different skill sets. Okay. So if you go like to some dyes or pigments, this will require some other type of skill sets. So like what Sanko said, you have to have to go with an open mind. Only then you will come to know what exactly it is your calling. Yeah.
Sir, Rahul sir, I have one doubt, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, just now you said that agro industry is completely different one.
Yeah.
Completely intensified.
Intensive marketing.
Yes, sir. So if I want to go into a nuclear power plant or near to that, how should I approach, sir?
For nuclear power plant, then you should have some like you want to go for nuclear power plant or you want to go for agro. Basically, what you want?
Nuclear power plant, sir.
Nuclear power plant, but I think so. Then you should have a separate skill set for that. I think so. Just as a chemical engineer, you can go into nuclear power plant. There is no issues in that because nuclear power plant do require chemical engineers.
See, what I feel is that if you're going to nuclear engineering, nuclear power plants are, as of now, they're not privatized. So they're all coming under the aegis of DAE, that is Department of Atomic Energy GOI. So if you really want to go to that, you'll have to either go, as per this is what I feel, and you'll have to either go through GATE, the recruitment through DAE through GATE, or through the advertisements which come out from time to time. As such, I don't think that and yes, what I've seen is they require mechanical and chemical engineers. So you have to be on the lookout for those things, and then when the recruitment opens, you will have to apply for that and get through. And what I believe is that DI nuclear power plants, they're very secretive about it, first of all, and it obviously because it's used for strategic purposes as well. So they provide fine training, and in many cases, a couple of my colleagues as well and my batchmates, they went into CRC and they were provided on-the-job training, and the masters was taken care of and was paid by TDA and DRC itself. And then they were posted to the different, one is in Kalpakkam right now and the other one is in Tarapur. So that is what I feel.
Again, I think they have got even heavy water plant also, right? The
HWP, heavy water is a part of DAP.
Yeah, right.
People homes are not but earlier constructed sold as 3 times price. But under the special division of Favored Home was created. And now there is a real manufacturing exporting moving to Canada. So, now plant is in Baroda and everything is inside.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Am I audible, sir? Hello.
Yeah.
I have a question to all. Sir, I am studying now bioprocess engineering. Sir, I see innovations in tissue culturing. Sir, can you give light on us about tissue culturing, because we are actually I am reading in my college course. Sir.
I have don't have much idea about tissue culture. If somebody else can throw light on this.
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm asking.
Even same for me. I don't have much idea about tissue culture or the biotechnology side of it. But generally, what I can say is that you know most of, I mean, what they're saying. See, pharma is moving towards biopharma, but again, it will take some time. But yes, definitely manpower will be required there. So if you're looking to get into that, and if you have interest and knowledge in that, then yes, you should go in and do it by all means.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Sir, I have one question. Am I audible?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, you're audible.
Sir, what skills should I inculcate in myself if I want to make a career in process designing, simulation, and optimization? And which company should be my target group?
So even I had this question.
Because designing, then you can have to go for consulting firms like Uday India, Toyo, and then we had those initially DV Power Gas. I don't know what's the name has changed now. So these are the company where you will be able to put your skills. For you about process designing, like pipe stress analysis and process optimization and all those things. These company will be able to help you out. Turnkey projects and all type of projects.
And adding to what Rahul ji is saying, that it's not necessarily that I mean, these are the big ones: Uday India, Ingenro, Jacobs Engineering. These are the
Yeah.
big names in this particular field. Design consultancies, what we call them these days. But then there are even at a local or a city level, there are many good ones as well. So you can start your career with them. What I would personally say, this is again my personal opinion, is that rather than getting to directly a design consultancy, at least have an experience. You can only, according to me, you can only design a good process if you know what that process is. It's not going to happen that you get a project and you have never worked on the shop floor, you have never seen that particular equipment and are going to design that. So it, and there have been cases, and we have had issues where things were under designed or over designed. So what I would always suggest is so
बहुत बार होता है, बहुत बार होता है.
so so that is what we would like to suggest. I think even Dhavalji is actually a subject matter expert in this. Is much better. And if was well decided equipment to us, and then get into design consultancy, we would like to say.
Can I suggest?
हाँ बोलिए बोलिए सर बोलिए.
Praveen Saxena, Vice President, Institute of Chemical Engineers and Director, Blast Carbon Block Private Limited. Actually, that you asked that gentleman that what should going to a design engineering. First of all, he should go for masters. I don't know his background who asked this question. So minimum masters, and if he can go with process designing, then you suggested very well, to be a good designer one should have some experience of field experience, the industry. So if you go with that, 2 to 3 years some industry, and it's a better to go in some medium scale industry where you can really participate and know the things. In a bigger, everything is available on computer or DCS system and all that. So there, then only you can, and you know that there are EPC contractors like Uday and all what you mentioned. So they are the big consultancy. So you can get it, but be prepared with that. And